Okay, let's jump right in. A top commander is eliminated. A successor is named almost immediately. A single event is sending massive shockwaves across the Middle East, and today we're here to unpack this shakeup and try to understand what happens next.
So here's the headline. Commander Kini of Iran's very powerful Revolutionary Guard Corps has been eliminated in a targeted strike. But in what was a stunningly fast move, Iran has already named his successor. They're making it crystal clear that this is just the beginning of a new and, frankly, a very dangerous chapter.
And make no mistake, this is a monumental event. As one analyst put it, eliminating Kilnia is no small deal. This single act has set off a huge chain reaction, and we're only just now starting to see the full consequences emerge.
So, let's start with the event itself. How did this leadership change happen, quite literally under fire?
Well, the operation was a coordinated daylight strike, and it didn't just target Commander Kini, it targeted his entire inner circle, his top commanders, even his family. Iran's response was swift. They confirmed his death, they declared a 40-day mourning period, and, crucially, they named his successor almost instantly. Now, this rapid succession isn't just them following procedure. No way. It's a calculated move to project strength and control in a moment of absolute chaos.
To really grasp the true impact of this strike, we need to understand the powerful organization at the heart of it all, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
We hear the name IRGC all the time, right? But its role is so much more complex than a typical army. So, here's what you really need to know. So the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, it isn't just another military force. It is the powerful, deeply integrated military wing of Iran's ruling clerics. And what that means is its power is woven directly into the fabric of the state itself. And this really shows their unique position. They are deeply, deeply linked with the political power structure. They are literally part of the process of running the country. Their primary function? To execute the state's political aims. So you have to think of them as both a military force and a political instrument all rolled into one.
Now, this dual role is absolutely key to understanding the conflict, because it's really playing out in two very different arenas, the military and the political.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Think of it this way. The military side of things has pretty clear, straight-cut objectives. A target is identified, it's eliminated. It's direct, it's easier to execute. But the political dimension? That is a whole different ballgame. It's a tangled web. The objectives are highly complex, interconnected, and the outcome is incredibly difficult to predict.
Which leads us directly to the next critical phase, the succession dilemma. Because you see, this isn't just about who commands the troops anymore. It's about who will ultimately wield political power.
So here's the crucial point. Military succession is actually pretty straightforward. There's a clear line of command, a hierarchy. I mean, we saw it. A new general was appointed immediately. But political succession, figuring out who really comes out on top in the power struggle, that is a much, much more complicated and dangerous game.
And it seems like there are two potential paths for how this political succession could play out. First, there's the internal path, right? This is where Iran's own leadership already has a plan in place. But then there's the external path. This is where foreign intelligence agencies might try to influence who takes power, maybe hoping to install someone who's a little more friendly to their own agenda.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Will the new leadership be a product of Iran's own internal design, or is it going to be shaped by these powerful outside forces? The answer to that is going to define the future of the entire region. And of course, none of this is happening in a vacuum. The crisis is already sending massive ripple effects across the globe. It's impacting travel, economies, and international security in a big way.
I mean, just look at the immediate fallout. We've already seen retaliatory attacks on major civilian airports like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The Strait of Hormuz, which is this absolutely critical choke point for oil, has been shut down. This has left thousands of international travelers stranded. It raises the very real risk of global oil prices just skyrocketing, and it creates huge safety concerns for the massive populations of foreign workers in the region, including many from India.
And all of this brings us right back to the central tension of this whole situation. From one point of view, a very clear military objective was met. But from another, the chaotic, unpredictable political consequences, they are only just beginning to unfold.
Which leads us to our final thought. A military strike is a single, finite event. It happens, and then it's over. But has the much longer, much more complex, and potentially far more dangerous political battle just begun?